And welcome back to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. This is the Sacramento Report, and I'm Steve Swatt. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about reaction to the governor's $97 billion state budget. My guest this segment is Steven Bradford, who is a member of the State Assembly, a Democrat from Gardena. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
So the governor called this budget solid and enduring. It's balanced, very fragilely, I think. What do you think overall?
I think the governor hit some good points last week on the state of the state and what we understand his budget to be and where the priorities are. And I think it falls in line to where we are in the legislature. As the speaker says, we're broke, but we have a pathway to improving spending in California and funding those things that are vitally important to us. So the governor has really made a focus on education. So we're looking to work with him in that area. Let's
talk about education in a minute. Let me talk about the spending first. There is some concern that Democrats in the legislature might want to spend more for programs that have been underfunded in recent years now that we have some tax monies coming in, about $6 billion a year. The governor's calling for restraint.
And I think he's right there. I mean, we just can't go wild about this. I mean, we have a balanced budget, but it's not like we're rich in reserves. So I think we have to proceed cautiously, as the governor has stated.
There's only $1 billion in reserve, exactly, which is like 1%, which is, that can be gone in a flash.
Yes. So yeah, it's not like we're flush with cash and we can go and start restoring some of the cuts that we made in the various areas over the last couple of budget cycles. So.
As you mentioned a minute ago, the governor is proposing really sort of a major change in education funding, where those school districts in low-income areas, those that have to teach more English learners, get more funds. It looks like it's setting up to be an urban school district, urban area versus suburban area political fight down the road.
Well, some see it like that. It's still about the haves and the have-nots. And whether you're in the urban area or suburban area, if you have classes that are not being funded, the governor's saying we need to direct those monies to those schools, regardless of where they are, to make sure that those students get the type of help that they need, whether it's English, ESL classes, whatever that might be. We're saying let's focus on those schools that are underserved.
And given your district, that's something that you would be in favor for?
Without a doubt. Local control, I think, is always great, and that's what the schools have asked for, that's what local governments asked for, and I think this is where the governor's trying to go with this.
Let me touch on one other subject regarding the budget, and that's the California Environmental Quality Act. The Republicans and the business community have been screaming for years that CEQA holds back development to a great degree, and the governor tends to agree. The Democrats usually are on the side of keeping CEQA the way it is. What's your view?
I think we have to reform. I played a major role 2 years ago in the CEQA reform in permitting the LA stadium. I said if we can do it for a stadium, we should be able to do it for a renewable project out in the desert. We should do it for housing. We should do it for those things that are necessary to move California forward. So we're not saying eliminate it, we're saying just reform it.
Of course, that stadium issue, as I recall, that was like a case-by-case situation. This is talking about sort of wholesale reform to make it easier to build projects, for example.
Without a doubt. I think we've heard it from businesses folks all the time about the handicaps and the restraints and uncertainties. All we're just saying, let's make it easier. It shouldn't take 3 to 5 years to get a project approved.
So briefly, it sounds like we're going to get this through if the Republicans are for it, and a lot of the Democrats are too.
We're going to get some form of CEQA reform, I would imagine.
All right. Well, Steven Bradford, a representative from Gardena from the State Assembly, thank you very much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, also on My Government on Demand. I'm Steve Swatt. Have a great day.